You're about to witness a seismic event.
Daddy, can you put on Skipback's radio?
No, go to bed.
Okay, yeah, that's the promo.
Yeah.
Welcome to Professor Joshi's House of Meditation. We will now hit your 9 chakras from top to bottom to head to toe to left to right to turn you in what we call ready for Skip Bags Radio. Grab your souls and get your heat. It's Mr. C. Poppy Carlo on the Insta Jesus. If you're looking for me in the street, we're coming here tonight with 5 in the room all around, and we're going to tell you how we get down. Let's start it off with a lady that's right on Skip Bags Radio on Dash Talk X every Tuesday at 8 o'clock. You better get ready for it. Get down. Dash Radio. Got a lady to my right. She's going to tell you how she keeps it tight and keep the men going all night.
What's up? It's Casey.
Hello. What's up? It's Thomas. We got Sean Josie in the studio. Devin to his left.
What up, what up, what up, what up, fam? Welcome to Skip Bags Radio. We are broadcasting live from Dash Radio in Hollywood, California. What's up, fam? How you guys doing today?
Turned up.
You sound very excited.
You guys, I'm trying to bring the energy level up. You guys were like,
my energy level is
Carl was like the meditation.
Dude,
so
Carl's
I just
amazing.
Hold on.
That was awesome, dude. Bones on that.
Sean,
that was great. What a performance.
Say hello to the world, yo. We got like T Money.
Yo, what's up, man? It's Sean Joshi. I'm here with Carl, and we're just gonna meditate for an hour, and nobody's gonna say anything. It should be a fascinating hour of radio.
Sean's a comedian, if anybody was wondering. Yes. You can catch him on Mondays at the Laugh Factory.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. It's good to be here with you guys. How you doing, Tommy?
Good to have you here. Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. This is so cool, man. Tiger Woods is up 5 strokes, and I'm here in a room without a TV. Dash can't get you ESPN in the booth. Where's the budget on this place, man?
Does he have the red
you got
black?
AC, I'll give you that.
Black on today?
Oh, you know Tiger's got the red on, man.
Oh, dude.
Tiger's, it's Sunday, baby. Tiger's got the red on. He better have the red on.
If not, he might lose.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd be concerned if he wasn't wearing it.
Yeah.
Well, Sean, normally we start every episode with a breakdown of a movie or TV show, but we're going to do
breakdown.
We're going to do something a little unique today because we always give our guests the opportunity to choose whatever they want to do, and you brought us a little treat. You said you had a little something on Star Wars.
Yeah.
You want to throw down?
I did. You know, I'm very sad these days, guys. Can I tell you why?
Yes, absolutely.
Because my beloved Star Wars franchise is completely trampled and fucking ruined by Disney. Disney, who normally does so well. I think Disney is absolutely achieving what they've done with Marvel is amazing. Like, and should be noted. You know, it's like DC can't stop tripping over their dicks. Can I cuss? Is that okay?
Yeah.
DC can't stop. Sorry, you're wearing the Superman shirt. They can't stop tripping over their dicks. You know what I mean? Like first Ben Affleck isn't going to be Batman. Now Henry Cavill isn't going to be like Superman.
Yeah, they're
now
done for.
Joaquin Phoenix is Joker. Like they have no idea what's going on. So what Disney has done with Marvel is amazing. But Star Wars, they've completely shut it on the ground. I don't know if you saw the report last week, but they actually said Star Wars is going to be slowing down. In terms of what
after Solo,
Bob Iger is still running that place, but they said that they're gonna.
I do have a defense for them if it helps. You know how there's old school hip hop and then there's trap music, right? You know how the trap music.
You mean there's good hip hop and shitty music? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Because I think that analogy works perfectly.
No, exactly.
I knew we were going to like each other.
I agree. Now I'm 43 years old.
Sure. Goddamn, black does not crack, sir. You look great.
Be clear when my knowledge is that.
You look great.
Let it be known that Carl does not look 43.
Yeah.
But technically, they have sold more songs with these spins, and they make more
because
money.
kids buy music.
So, but according, you know how the
Maybe there's just more kids.
Michael Jordan, LeBron with the championships thing. Well, it works like that with the kids with the money and the rap thing. So since their rapper made more money than your rapper, I don't give a fuck what you tell them 20 years from now.
Right.
Your rapper was not better than my rap. My rapper sold 40 gajillion dick sucks. So that's
I think you're right. But you know what? I would say to that.
It's like Disney's like that.
I think you're right. right, but I also think kids these days, their shit is not Star Wars. Our shit is Star Wars. You said 43. Their shit is Harry Potter. You know what I mean? They did not have an emotional connection to Star Wars. You know?
No,
So when you come, and did you see the South Park episode where George Lucas and Steven Spielberg just like raped Indiana Jones and like they just
literally raping.
They raped Luke Skywalker and Han Solo. They fucked up the old characters so
let me
bad.
ask you this, because I love.
like
we've talked about Star Wars at length on this show plenty of times. And
well, what the hell else is there to talk about?
Exactly. I'm a huge proponent of the canon. I got fucking 2 Star Wars tattoos on me myself.
Oh wow, you're in deep. Let's see, where are they? Reveal them on the air. Where are they?
I got these on my finger.
On your cock, sir. On your cock, you have one. A lightsaber on your cock, sir. It even makes a noise. That's amazing. I love it.
You know, it's like down Periscope, up Periscope.
That's a good movie.
It is.
Shout out down Periscope.
Yeah, Kelsey Grammer, right? But yeah, no. So I wanted to hear your thoughts and why it went off straight and what ways it went off straight. Because like,
how long do we got, sir? If I had sleeves, I'd roll them up right now.
Well, like, okay, so the first one is a callback to episode 4, right? Or the new of the.
By
the new
callback,
series.
you mean let's
replica?
just change the characters and keep all of the dialogue.
It's
and
literally
plot structure.
exactly the same.
Yeah, exactly.
And when will the Empire learn to block that one duct that leads to the central core that explodes everything? How many times?
Or maybe just don't have all your plans uploaded to one computer that is so easily accessible.
Well, nothing made sense in terms of even the structure of the Jedi, how they came back, in terms of what was going on with the Republic. The Republic was so fractured that they wouldn't want to fight a burgeoning New Order a mere 50 years after the Empire. And I think, the story doesn't make structural fucking sense. Like the way the first... Say what you will about the prequels, all right? But that shit was at least original. And I think there's really good movies in each of those. I don't think the problem...
Set them up. It's set up a lot of stuff.
The problem isn't the story. The stories of the prequels are actually great. Where the flaws come in is some of the execution.
Yes.
And some of the dialogue. Oh my God, when they're on Naboo.
Yeah.
I really
Hayden Christensen is so bad.
I have a trap music defense for it.
the trap music.
If y'all give me a second, I'd like to.
Hayden Christensen delivers dialogue in those movies like it's trap music.
So Star Wars ruined Hayden Christensen's career.
They took the characters, they changed it because they're SJW and Me Too on this shit. You know what I mean? And now nobody has to actually work or read anything anymore. They just got it internally. So now the whole thing is anybody can have the Force and anybody can be a. Well, it's like a little Yachty cover. It's like a little Yachty album cover. Yes, it is. Like nobody has to do the work anymore, son.
Call's gonna go in.
Nobody has to do the work anymore.
I think a distinction needs to be made though, because when you hear the Star Wars criticism, so much of it is also tied into, hey, we hate that they made black Jedis and women Jedis, and I don't think that was a problem at all. I thought what they did with the new
Mace Windu is the fucking baddest Jedi.
What they did with the new characters was fine. What they did with the old characters and the plot structure was appalling to the point that Luke Skywalker.
They were killing off people so they can get the new bodies.
When did Star Wars turn into Game of Thrones? By the way, seriously.
Seriously,
that's a really good
Star Wars for that.
Why is everybody dying?
I got a total defense for that. Star Wars has probably had 1,000 Luke Skywalkers throughout history, just like Neo in the Matrix has happened a billion times.
No,
and
in the canon,
it's like 21 billion years old and all this stuff, and 14 billion years old and all this stuff.
No, but there's a prophecy. See, in the canon, that's not how it's supposed to be.
He's in deep. He's actually speaking for the right. Let him talk.
So there has been a prophecy for millennia that there will be a gifted one to bring balance to the Force, and this was when
is this Luke or Rey we're talking about?
No.
Yes,
first,
because Star Wars is ultimately it is the story of the Skywalkers.
Yes,
like George Lucas said, and now there's no Skywalkers left. It's not
what happened to fucking Cade. This is what I wanted. All of the fucking canon. There was books written that occurred after the original trilogy and even before the prequels. And those books.
You mean the books that Yoda burned?
No.
No, that's nonsense. Hogwash.
Because you don't need to do the work.
Luke is sucking weird milk titties from weird.
That was my
land
absolute
mammals.
favorite scene in any Star Wars movie is Luke Skywalker sucking on the bands of titty.
When Mark Hamill first read the script, he went to Rian Johnson and he said, "I disagree with every decision you've made for this character."
Did he say that?
He did, and I can completely see why. It's dumb.
It's stupid, yeah.
Let's let the
I
guy
was very
Looper find
disappointed.
Let's let him completely rewrite the Star Wars canon. Okay, for no reason. There's nobody at the helm, and my whole thing is this isn't actually the Star Wars story. It's the most expensive fan fiction of all time.
Yeah.
It's what it is. There was never a plan. They should have taken George Lucas's original treatments, which fucking exist, and that's what they should have. They should have changed maybe every single thing around it, but they should have kept the actual core of what it was. And what it should have been is Luke can die, but not in the second movie. Luke dies in the third fucking movie.
Well, he's definitely going to come back.
You it's like the Royal Rumble. You let him come and like splooge out at the end of the second one.
There's absolutely
and then he sacrifices at the end of the third. And he trains Rey and comes up. You know what I mean?
He should have been. He should have been the hero. He's the hero that we follow his story. And even in the
they should let me fix it.
Dude, you hit the nail on the head.
Because I'm right. Because you're a Star Wars dude, and so am I. And you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head with the fact that there's no one in the helm. The difference between Star Wars and Marvel, I mean, there's no one. What's her face? The woman, and I can't remember her name.
Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, but she's
not
a keeper of the canon. They had a Fergie.
She's not a keeper of the canon.
Or what's his face for Marvel?
Me too,
and
guys.
he came from Marvel and joined
Me too,
Disney.
guys.
Do you know what
I don't know what that means, but
Kevin Feige, right?
Like Kevin Feige,
the Marvel man.
Sorry. He was at Marvel. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he was with Marvel first, and then when Disney bought Marvel, he came over.
Yes, exactly. He's been at the helm
forever.
So he's the gatekeeper of the canon of Marvel, and that's what Star Wars lacked when it went to Disney.
Well, George
Lucas should have been on board, and honestly, I don't have a problem.
Sold it.
I
don't have a problem, but I'm saying as a curator of the content,
he was still around after the sale.
He was consulting, but he was doing that much. All he did was text JJ.
He's got his executive producer credits.
The way I understand it, he was actually on site with them in Florida, and he said, "This is the story. This is how it's going to be." And he said, whoever it was, whether it's JJ Abrams, whoever, told him, "We don't want to do those stories. We want to do something for the fans." And you know what George Lucas was going to do with it? He talked a little bit about it. And it's a little bit kind of, I don't know if we want to get in this deep. Like, you know how StarArs started as Journal of the Wills was the original name of the script for Star Wars?
I didn't know
What was it?
Yeah. Journal of the Wills.
WHILLS, Wills. And so he was going to bring back the concept of the wills for this. And you know the metachlorians from Star Wars 1? Well, this was actually a more subatomic level of metachlorine. And they're actually what their synthesis and existence is what creates and binds the force to the universe and gives life to creation.
So it's like a quark?
Kind of like, yes. Yes.
Nice.
But people hate it. Exactly. You picked up on it.
Yeah.
Thomas, that's it.
Yeah, good job.
Bob and Thomas right here. I love how you're wearing the LA hat. That's such a Indiana shout out right there, man. Thomas and I both went to Indiana. Bob and Tom.
Oh, boy.
May they now rest in peace. But but actually, I think the prequels were great. Couple of fixes I would have made on the prequels. Instantly, obviously, you eliminate Jar Jar Binks.
Immediately.
Whoa. Before,
I think Phantom of the Menace, there is a stellar movie in Phantom of the Menace. The best lightsaber battle in the series is Phantom of the Menace.
Yes. Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan.
Unfortunately, it was slowed down by awful writing.
But
Amazing.
To pause, because you've heard the fan theory about Jar Jar, right? Being a Sith Lord?
No, that's dumb. That's people that are too bored. That doesn't make any sense.
It does.
It's stupid.
It makes total sense.
He's not a Sith Lord. He's a racist caricaturist.
It was planted that he was trained by Palpatine to be the fool. He was the jester in the court.
Then why was he so terrible at everything?
Drunken boxing. If you look at like Drunken Boxing,
Drunken Master with Jackie Chan.
Yes, exactly. But Drunken Boxing is a style. His fighting technique kind of mirrors that, where he's clumsy and he always does this, but it always works out. He has a force connection.
That dude is so stoned all the time.
Dude, by episode 3, he's a fucking senator. He's organic
because
Jar Jar is the Antichrist.
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
All right. Have you ever heard of nepotism?
Well, here's
the only reason he's a senator is because Queen Amidala is his BFF.
I think Lucas had this idea to make the fool's gesture. Think about this. This is kind of relating to like Trump almost.
Have you ever heard of affirmative action?
If you want to bring this in.
It was affirmative action, man.
Yeah.
This is the problem with affirmative. We don't get the talented people in the positions, you know.
Well, everyone's like, it's Jar Jar. It's harmless. He's
Sarcasm.
cute. Blah, blah, blah.
Jar Jar can't even read. Let's make him a senator.
Yeah, man. Well, okay. Here's the thing, though. There's a good movie in there. Eliminate Jar Jar, and also, second point, you were speaking to me too. Not Naomi Watts, Naomi Campbell. What's her name? Princess Amidala is totally a Me Too child predator in that movie. Why is she
because she
preying
goes
on
after
that poor child, Anakin Skywalker, who's 6 years old when they meet? Like, why wouldn't you cast? Why wouldn't you cast somebody the same age? He was too young in the first movie, and he could not carry the movie. You know, there's great scenes in the first movie. The pod racing scene. The pod racing scene is great. The last scene we're talking, the structure of the movie is great. The story of the movie is actually great. I just think, you know,
Natalie Portman's a little too
older to
predatory.
Older to hold the role.
Yeah,
they need somebody. He was too young.
He was.
How are they gonna jump bones when she's 6 and he's 6 and she's like 17?
Aliens, man. She doesn't age and he does.
Oh, by the way, that
She's
guy
Nubian.
That guy went to my high school after Anakin went to my high school after Anakin and everything. And
oh no shit! He's from Indy.
No, but he moved to Carmel, and he was like a very troubled teen there. You know, he got angsty,
I can see that.
angsty and shit.
I mean, that kid did not glow up.
Kids would ask him. Why he ruined Star Wars?
I'm talking about the Anakin, the kid who played Anakin Skywalker, the young one, in episode 1. He's in jail right now, right?
Damn.
Oh, is he?
He was. Yeah, dude. If you could pull him up, look up who that actor is.
Well, then you're right.
A bad casting can ruin a movie. The other classic Sean Joshi example of bad casting ruining a movie. Sorry, I don't mean to trample over and take over. I'm the guest. It's okay if I talk.
It's your job to take over.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I can do that, man. The sleeves are already rolled up. Godfather 3 is a fine movie, actually, but Sofia Coppola fucking ruins it. She ruins the whole thing. What's the one? The one who stole stuff?
Nepotism.
The actress who stole stuff who was fucking Johnny. They got married to Johnny Depp. Well, Winona Ryder.
Oh yeah.
She was supposed to be in it, and she dropped out. So Sofia Coppola did it, who is Francis Ford Coppola's daughter, who is a fantastic director. But
she's an amazing director.
Not an actress.
No. No. Yeah. Agreed.
No.
Not an actress.
I agree.
Not
and I think that was, and
nepotism.
also that
nepotism. It was nepotism.
If you
Etiquette,
notice,
bro. Etiquette.
That was like when Pacino went into like caricature Pacino mode. Like that was like when you saw Pacino in that, his acting was like him and it was like Devil's Advocate.
He was a little too Tony
Devil's
Montana.
Advocate. That movie scared the shit out of me.
That is a great movie.
But that last Godfather 3 scene, gets me every time, dude.
Which one? The one
when he's on the steps and they do the montage. That is one of the great montages that everyone forgets about, and they go all through his fucking life. Oh, it gets me every time, dude.
You know they made
you never speak against the family, Fredo. Remember that? Mo Green.
Talk about raping a franchise.
Mo Green is a man to be respected, Michael. 2 things, Fredo. Number 1, you never speak against the franchise. Yeah,
or the franchise.
Or the franchise.
So you guys know they did a recut. Speaking of raping franchises, they did a recut of The Godfather in sequence timeline wise. So not part 1, part 2, part 3, but they cut all the scenes. So they had
it's 7 hours long.
Yeah, but
the
they
length
had
of an average Bollywood movie.
Well, they had all of Vito's stuff. So it was like all of Robert De Niro first. And then it went into Al Pacino and Marlon Brando. And then it went into others. So it was like timeline sequence.
Do you want to hear something fucked up?
Movie.
That was the book. You know, the book Godfather is actually, the part from Godfather 2 where it's Vito. That's actually in Godfather, the novel. That is the novel I checked out in novels class the morning of 9/11. You know that? I went to get Godfather. I went up the TV on the library was on Fox News because it's Indiana.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was in gym class.
And you know what they said? they said on the news, they said a small commuter plane has crashed into the World Trade Center
that morning. Yep.
Yeah, and I said to a chick was watching it with me. I looked at the chick next to me. I said, "Oh, that shit's gonna be on Letterman tonight." You know what I mean? And then I walked back with the Godfather book. I sat down, and this teacher runs and puts the door hysterical. It's like, "Turn on the TV. We're under attack." And like we turned on the TV, and right when we did that, the fucking second plane. And I was hanging out with
everybody saw it that day because I saw it too that day. That was the second one.
Crazy,
not the first
right?
one. The second one, everybody's watching the TV.
The first one, everyone missed. Yeah,
and then you see it. And
nobody saw the first.
Man looks up, and it's like, boom, it happens. It was like a movie.
Yeah, and I was hanging out with a baby yesterday. I mean, not just us. That would be weird, but there was other people there.
It was me and this baby.
I was hanging out with a baby, and I looked at the baby, and I said, "Yo, baby, listen to me, baby. Like, 9/11 might as well be Pearl Harbor to you. Like, you had no difference."
I tell people,
I'm
like, I ask people that are like coming out of high school now and stuff. I'm like, you guys will never remember. Like, I remember where and when.
I remember.
Crazy.
I was playing
no memory of that.
I was playing Man Overboard in gym class.
What the fuck is that? Some kind of like homo thing you were doing in the locker room?
It's
not that there's anything wrong with that.
Man Overboard is a game where you have 3 lines, and they just make you run from line to line, and whoever gets to the line last, you're out, and then it's just like elimination. I won that day. Shout out me.
So do you think you were responsible for 9/11 because you won? Like maybe if you lost,
I
everything
ran
would have been
too
different
fast
that
day.
Yeah.
Hey,
so
that's where responsible. Even though I know your family's not from the same place as the actual terrorist guys, you're more of like the
Carl, we're supposed to stick together, Carl. The two minorities in this day and age, the Trump era, Carl. We're supposed to stick together, man.
I want to know, did you receive a lot of hate from people just out of the blue?
Oh
I
my God,
tell you a story.
As a different race.
I will tell you a story,
but they will stake you and shit.
I will tell you a story.
I actually went to school with a kid named Osama, and he had to switch schools.
I went to school with a kid named Osama.
Yeah, he had to go to a private school after that, and I didn't see him. I didn't see him again
was
until
one of the cool kids before it happened, so he played it out.
Cool.
You know,
yeah, I didn't see him until like 8 years later, and it was like a pickup soccer game or something.
Yeah, but do you have a hate story, like a hate story?
Oh, yeah, okay. So I was flying on September 11, 2002, which was...
Wait. Time out. Who booked that ticket?
I booked that ticket.
Why?
Because it's people.
If you ask my family, they'll tell you I don't really plan stuff. I just like they happen when it has to happen. So I probably waited to the last minute to book it, and that's when it was.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So I'm getting ready to leave, and naturally I'm late. I'm the only one who misses flights in my family as well. You know what I mean? I now get texts from every single one of my family members. They know I have a flight, being like, "Sean, are you there? Sean, are you there? Sean, are you there? Sean, are you there?" Right?
That was me before you showed up here.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was a good one, man. High five. I was a little late. I apologize. I love you guys. So you forgive me.
You're awesome.
Anyway,
the Tiger is 5 under, and the Colts were playing the Eagles. Give me a little bit of a fucking break over here. And I had an agent meeting.
I know,
today,
and
which was very good.
And the Colts lost. Anyway.
Yeah, the Colts, but we played so goddamn well. We'll talk about that later. What were we talking about?
I'm from Philly.
So
9/11/02.
I was flying on September 11, 2002. Okay. And I'm getting ready to go to the airport, naturally running late, right? As I do, as you guys are familiar with.
For those that are listening, Sean is clearly Indian.
But actually, no, people think I'm Arabs come up to me and start speaking Arabic. Dude.
Really?
Like, people go, "Wow, I'm surprised." Like I could be Brazilian, Indian, Middle Eastern,
Armenian.
Like I could be in the CIA if not for the fact that I'm a giant pussy. You know what I mean? Like if I had any confidence and strength and muscle, I could like hide in so many places. But so I'm getting ready to go. My dad looks at me. He's like, "You were going to the airport like that?" I had a full beard. You know what I mean? He's like, "You're going to the airport like that?" I'm like, "Dad, what are you talking about?" He goes, "You better shave that before you go." I'm like, "Dad, that's stupid. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to play to that fucking bullshit." You know what I mean?
Dude,
you know what I mean? I'm sure black people have some version of that conversation.
9/11 2002, they're pulling me out of line and going through my backpack.
I got to the airport and I'm waiting through the line, and this motherfucker is just eyeing me the whole fucking way. And I'm like, here we go. And I'm looking at my passport picture, and I have a full beard in my passport picture too. I'm like, Dad was so fucking right. I should have shaved. So I get up to the top, and like we're getting there, and like he signals, and I think he's signaling to me, but he signals to this like sweetest, littlest, oldest, kindest little white like grandmother. Looks like Dave Letterman's mom, like in front of me, and they take her to the side, and like they did the full-on search to her, and I went through, and she was still doing it. So actually, I've been very good. I think I'm like, they say that model minority theory, which everyone's like, I think I'm the minority that white people want minorities to be when they look at me.
The model minority.
I study white people because like I've been behind the lines.
He's a Hoosier.
So I've been studying you guys for years. Like I'm a neutral party. You know what I mean? Yeah, you guys have a weird antagonism of black people. I don't understand it. I don't get it. It's weird, right, Carl?
I'm from Philly.
It's weird.
I had to learn as I grew up.
Yeah, you have a weird thing with black people. Just leave them alone. I don't get it. Just let them be. Like, why do you guys keep fucking with them and shit? I don't get it. Yeah.
It's jealousy over dick size.
It is, totally. It's something like that. It's something like that.
It stems from
It's something Freudian and deep like that.
You guys want the real answer? This is like a real answer.
Mike Pence has a very...
You know about genetic and recessive genes, right? You learned it with flowers and everything in the 5th grade. Well, as you know, the dark gene is actually the dominant gene.
Yeah.
So when all the white guys were conquering the whole place, they fucked all
Are we getting into some Elijah Muhammad shit now?
No. This is some real deep shit. This is some real deep everyday man realization shit.
Let's hear it.
That European guys were so smart because Europe was small, so they ran out of resources quick. So they went out to expand and caught everybody sleeping, basically. So as they went to these places, killed the men, they fucked all the women. But when all the kids came out, they still looked like the men they killed. And they was like, holy fucking shit. We got to get a handle on this. And that's why racism.
Oh shit, that's really fucking interesting. Actually, I've never thought about that.
That's why that's what it's all about.
You can't mix.
It's all about. It's genetic survival. That's all.
Yeah, bro.
Nothing more, nothing less.
That's true. But a lot of people, like
shut up.
Like there's so much.
We want it purely. This game is pure. I said, all right, I get it now. It's just a whole. Won't be no more. America is by 2040 is going to be a majority minority country.
Not if Trump has something to say about it.
So that's what the whole panic is about with Trump and everything. And they're like, oh, we're losing our country. It's like the way I'm saying, like, man, I've seen a lot more.
But it ties into your whole recessive gene thing as well. Yeah. But there's like just dumb racial things that I see like people commonly believe. Like one of them is like, like there's been no advanced colored civilizations or shit like that. There's that kind of that strange thing.
That's absolutely not true.
And which is not true. And do you guys
Aztecs,
Mayans, do you guys know
everybody's
everyone also forgets about the fucking Moors. The Moors ruled fucking Spain.
Dude,
it's just dumb.
The Moors and the Arabic had a wave of enlightenment that kept civilizations higher consciousness.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
In high school, people were afraid. After 9/11, people were afraid of Al Qaeda. I was afraid of Al Jabra. You know what I mean? That's the shit I was afraid of.
Well, let me ask you this, Sean, because you've been doing stand-up multiple different places around the country, right?
Allegedly. That's what some people call it. Yes.
Have you noticed a difference in crowds? Like when you do stand-up?
Yes, of course.
Oh my God!
I'll tell you something right now.
A crowd here versus a crowd.
I'll tell you something right now. I vote with the Democrats, but I would much rather drink with the Republicans. Man.
I agree with that.
They're so much more fun to drink with. Fucking liberal crowds are so uptight and shit. You know more going into a liberal crowd how to set it up, meaning just safe, nice shit. You know what I mean? You know more how to set it up going into that and pander to them. You end up having people think, you got to pander to like conservative crowds. You have to end up pandering nowadays. Recently, you pander more to the liberal audiences than you do the conservative ones. They're so up their fucking ass. They're so up their ass and uptight.
Have you gotten like shit? Have you gotten like hecklers?
Oh yeah, I had a white chick call me racist. I had a white chick. I was doing a set at the Laugh Factory, like late as balls, 1:05 in the morning. It's like on Columbus Day, and this white chick gets up and calls me racist. I'm like, bitch, it's Columbus Day. You know what I mean?
Right, of all days.
Do you not know your history? Come on.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. Like it's not as much of a, like I feel like I can talk and joke about it because one, it's such a big thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's such a taboo these days. I like to talk about and play in those spaces.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
should. I think
comedy lives. Comedy is the
Exactly.
line.
And look at what's going on with Trump. He just all and says it. And people are more worried about comedians than what fucking the president or senators are doing. There's Steve King is a literal Nazi. In the U.S. representative, retweeting
crazy.
Nazis, getting called out, saying, no, I'm not going to take it down after already knowing it's fucking Nazis. And what does the GOP do? Nothing. You have Jim Boehner, the ex-Speaker of the House, saying there are literal Nazis in the U.S. House of Representatives.
Yeah.
And you're getting mad at comedians for saying jokes and poking fun at shit.
Well,
like,
Sean,
get off your fucking shit.
So
that has been Sean's soapbox for the moment. Thank you, everybody, for
Sean,
visiting.
so what you got?
I will take a round of applause, Carl. Thanks, man. I am a comedian, allegedly.
You know what I'm saying? We from the underground black delegation was just like to nominate Sean Joseph.
I will take it.
For president of the
I had a Kobe Fro in 11th grade. I will take it.
For righteous efforts. Get our
Thank you,
reparations, my brother.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Sean, I feel your blending in aspect.
Racial draft 2019.
My father was born in Cuba and my mother's Irish, so I definitely look.
You could hardly tell. You
Dude, you cannot tell at all.
I
had me fooled all the way, man.
Higher than 10%.
Yeah, look at how you tan too. You don't got any Cuban in it. Cubans don't tan like that.
No,
you know
well,
what I mean?
this is it's
Cubans
the
get that
Irish
nice mocha.
in
You know,
Yeah.
I like it, dude. You're a good man.
Well,
I'm white.
With a hefty penis, allegedly.
No, but I can blend in. That's what I'm saying. Like I grew up cooking pigs
totally.
and I'm doing all that.
Oh wait, you've never seen his hair?
Like Malcolm X's mom.
He has a Jufro. He's got like one of those Bob Ross
When
type
I do
fros.
have hair.
I had that in 11th grade. Is what I was trying to say.
He's got the Bob Ross type
When I
fro.
last had
So that's
hair.
the Cuban side.
So
Yeah.
I wanted.
What
to,
else? You guys want me to solve your life problems?
Yes,
Ask me anything about the
I do.
universe. I will tell you anything you need to know.
Well, okay.
Any questions?
So I want to have. I got two questions. You
About the
choose-
universe, God,
Yes.
wonder, nature.
About Indiana specifically.
Indiana. Oh, I can also answer
well, then
questions about
three.
Did
Indiana.
Tiger Woods make a
Michigan.
comeback today? You said from a 500 to 5
Tiger Woods
over?
not only made a comeback, Tiger Woods is soaring triumphantly like an eagle, spreading its wings over America, casting a shadow of freedom across the land for all to wonder and gawk at in awe. That's what Tiger Woods did today.
So big golf guy.
That's what I'm talking
I'm a
about.
big Tiger Woods guy. I love me. Tiger Woods is
yeah.
my Martin Luther King Jr., sir.
So I lived in St. Augustine, which is right next to
I hope
World
that's okay,
Golf
Carl.
Village. I saw Tiger play there. That's what I'm saying. I got
Did
to
you?
see.
You
yeah,
lucky man.
I got to see him do
You
some
lucky
practice.
man.
He
You
wasn't
lucky
playing.
man.
He wasn't playing in a tournament. He was just fucking shooting the holes.
That's
But,
great.
yeah, he
Trying to pick up some trim on the side. Of the
Yeah,
course.
I'm sure, dude. Because that's where Bill Murray and his brothers have their
Love Bill
restaurant,
Murray.
and they have the Caddyshack Murray Brothers
fine
charity
gentleman.
golf tournament once
Did they
a year.
film Caddyshack there?
No, they filmed Caddyshack a little bit further south in Florida, like kind of towards Daytona, like West Palm Beach area. But yeah, it's the same. Like Florida is probably, I would say Florida and California, maybe the biggest states for golf in
Yeah.
the U.S.
Actually,
Arizona's pretty crazy.
fun
right?
fact, I think it's a state that nobody would ever think of.
Connecticut or something?
It's Indiana.
It's
Any-
Indiana.
Really?
Bones, actually, the
Really?
county I grew up in, Hamilton County,
That's
has
true.
the most golf courses
Fun fact.
for GDP or
That's
something.
actually a
Wow.
You know,
real truthful fact.
I would rather golf nowhere else than Indiana in the summer months because you can get out on the courses, you can
There's
play
literally nobody
around
there.
in 3 hours, sometimes under 3 hours, and there's so many courses and they're cheap.
Like a
the
whole
problem is
18 in 3?
you can't play around the clock.
can golf
damn near 2 hours
in
I think
Evansville,
you can get
Indiana.
it.
You can golf for like
a
15
golf league?
hours.
Is there like a bunch of people playing, so like everyone's used
You
to the
move,
rhythm?
baby.
And like,
Yeah.
You move.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
You don't
there's
have
just
the
so many
population.
courses. There's not that many people.
Yeah.
oh, that's the
And-
thing about Florida.
And so many
everything's packed.
courses.
Yeah.
So many courses.
A lot of courses.
A lot of courses.
So is it like 10,000 courses in like a tight area?
It's like Minnesota with lakes.
They're all great.
Really?
Pete Dye, the great Pete Dye, started designing golf courses in Indiana. A lot of majors are played on Pete Dye courses.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys this: if you had to choose,
I think
Caddyshack or Happy Gilmore?
Happy Gilmore.
Caddyshack. then
No
Happy
way,
Gilmore.
dude. That's not. That's one of those
That's
things
so
that.
hard, man. That's so tough.
That's not one of those things that I don't even think can be asked like as a question. I have a deep, unyielding faith that Happy Gilmore is part of my adolescence and
Dude,
forming
yes.
my opinion of comedy.
Yes.
But Caddyshack is a
I've seen
superior
those finger
movie.
paintings you've been bringing home and they suck.
Yeah, Caddyshack is just at a legendary level. I mean, what Rodney Dangerfield is doing in that movie is ridiculous.
You know, that
It's
was
a
like,
great
that
movie.
was his
Chevy
first
Chase, Chevy
big movie.
chasing, and Bill Murray like improv like, every one of those fucking lines.
Yeah,
Are you
he-
kidding
He
me?
wasn't even supposed to be in the movie.
He
They
only
just liked him.
had one
Augusta,
line of dialogue
18.
scripted.
The young-
one line
yeah.
in one scene, and every
Young
other thing was
greenskeeper.
improv.
Coming forward. 167 yards.
And a hurricane hit while they were in production. So they just shut down production here for a hurricane hitting. And also, another fun fact about the Caddyshack production. Remember when they blew up the fucking golf course in the end?
Yeah.
With all the pyro? Well, they didn't get approval.
It was
from
Al-Qaeda, wasn't it?
to do that? Like, they didn't tell the city that they were in.
There was a back channel deal with Al-Qaeda.
No, they just were like, they didn't even tell the golf course. They asked permission from the golf course, and the golf course was like, no, we need fucking people to play here next week.
It was the 70s. You could get away with that.
They just did it anyways. And when they did it, there was a fucking, like, they're like 2 miles or 3 miles from an airport, like international airport, like West Palm International or something. So there's like commercial jets flying in, and they saw this giant explosion, and they radioed into the tower that there's a terrorist. The explosion coming. It was like, they're like, there's fucking shit going. Or they were like, either somebody's blowing up a missile or a plane just went down. Blah blah blah. So they like caused this whole stir.
Sounds like a very bad day for that production manager.
And that single scene was more exciting than Die Hard 2. Like Die Hard 1 is so amazing, and Die Hard 2, it's like, oh shit, he's never gonna leave the airport. He's just gonna be here the whole time.
Yeah.
Well, that's a scale of escalation with Die Hard, man.
Die Hard 3 is amazing, though.
First it was a building, then it was an airport, then it's a city. It's a city.
Die Hard 3 doesn't get enough props, though, man.
Die Hard 3 was definitely better than 2. Almost rivals
2 was a little boring. It was a little boring.
I could fix Die Hard. I could fix every movie, by the way. I could fix Die Hard, and I want to fix the Terminator. They fucked the Terminator,
Sean,
dude. The Terminator has the best mythology. They had the best mythology.
All right, Sean. I got a challenge for you, brother.
Yeah, what is it?
So
I can fix
we got
anything.
a couple minutes. Yeah, we want you to be the Skip Bags official movie fixer. So in 2 minutes, we're gonna go through. I want you for 2 minutes. You can fix.
Sure.
I'm gonna list a movie.
You can't include pornography, sir. I can tell you that.
You can choose the movie. You can choose the movie, but just in 2 minutes, just be like, the movie. How would you fix? You can pick whatever movie you want to fix. Be like, yo, or I can pick it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, throw out some movies, and I'll tell you if I have ideas.
All right. Well, Terminator. We just said Terminator, so let's go with Terminator.
Okay, it has the most beautiful mythology that you actually have. The whole thing about robots and shit is fucking great, and I consider Terminator 2 to actually be the greatest action movie of all time. The problem is, where do you go from Terminator 3? They were never able to transition the modern day, you know, the chase to kill John Connor or the chase to kill Sarah Connor. They weren't able to transition between that and the post-apocalyptic world. Yeah. What you need is a John Connor trilogy, starting out with John Connor at the fucking beginning, you know, them fighting, maybe at the moment of triumph. You have the Empire Strikes Back, and the second one where they lose and, you know, destruction seems imminent and guaranteed, and the rise of John Connor, and the third episode to triumph over the machines and establish humanity once again. Nice. Because art and creativity and expression matter, right?
Damn right.
And especially in these times, you know, with the rise of automation, you know what I mean? And we're going to see a lot of things are going to get weird in terms of processing. Because, you know, we're going to pass a point where the processing power is going to pass that of the human brain, which still at this point is the fastest processing speed on the planet. But just remember growing up how computers were 133 megahertz. You remember that? Our brains also are clocked at a speed. It's just the fastest yet to be created.
Now, but
what happens after that is an interesting fucking thing.
You know, they're making another Terminator movie right now.
And you can go into interesting spaces in Terminator with that. But I'm not making it. That's how you know it's going to suck.
The original Sarah Connor is coming back.
They're going to Me Too it.
But they're going to fuck it up, dude. They're going to fuck it up.
It's all right.
It's always like that, though.
It's over, dude.
There's a strong possibility that they fuck it up.
It's like Vietnam. There's only so many times you can go in. They've muddled it.
Trap movies, guys. Trap movies. Got to think trap movies.
I got number two. Number two.
For the kids, man.
Fix it. Jurassic Park.
Oh, I'm glad you brought this up. Because I actually have very distinct thoughts on Jurassic World, okay?
Oh, God.
The first half of that movie, I'm sitting going, this is fantastic. This is the best Jurassic Park I've seen since Jurassic Park.
Really?
Okay? The first half of that movie was perfect, okay? I was sitting there thinking, I don't know why the critics hated it. And then the second half of the
Once
movie,
they go to the
turned
island,
into
right?
a fucking Mary Shelley novel where the fucking Velociraptor is some kind of like Frankenstein's monster that's
Right.
like, it was just a weird thing. If they would have kept it, you know that end scene where they're all running and they're jumping off there?
Yeah.
They kept that. That's actually your climax scene of the movie. I thought that would have worked as an ending of the movie. And the idea that they introduced, which was the most interesting, and they didn't play out to its
You mean when they jump off the
intentions?
cliff when the
At that the
volcano's
half
going
point,
off?
the end of the whatever act of the whatever. You get one at that point. That should actually have been stretched out to the end of the movie. I thought the movie up to that point was great.
Yeah.
But the other thing they didn't play with and they should have exploited and teased out more is those dinosaurs escaping into the real world. We didn't see
Yeah.
enough of that.
yes.
You have those giant things coming into, and then you have the surfers, right there.
Yeah.
You didn't do that. You know what I would do with the next movie? Are you ready, gentlemen? And I told you I had thoughts on this.
Yeah.
Do you know what the next movie should be?
Yeah.
Are you ready? How genius this is? You should call
Bring
me
it.
to fix all your fucking movies, Warner Brothers, Paramount, whoever's making it. You tie in. The world is getting hotter. Okay? We are creating an environment that is much more perhaps conducive to life in the Cretaceous or Jurassic period when the planet was hotter, let's say. You know what I mean? So you have through global warming, you have almost like a Planet of the Apes scenario. You know, when you start to go with human civilization is failing. And then you can take on,
Dinosaurs
and you
taking
you
over?
bring in like the road, the angle of the road. You have that like a movie or two down. You know
Who
what I
knows?
mean?
I mean, who
you
knows
see
what-
how I would wouldn't that be fucking bad? It would be more interesting than whatever direction they're going to go with it.
We don't know
you
what BD Wong is up to.
Dude, I
He
would
could
make
be-
that
BD
4
Wong-
stars.
BD Wong could be putting a
I will
human
make
brain.
you a 4-star about that, and
In a
you give me the Dragon Ball
pterodactyl.
franchise. I will give you beautiful 3 movies in the
The Dragon Ball
Dragon
franchise?
Balls is shit.
Man,
I will
that
give you
first-
3 badass.
The Dragon Ball movie with Justin Chatwin was the most disappointing train wreck of a
atrocity.
movie.
What was it?
I mean, I know.
Also, can I go back to
I know
Jurassic
the
World real
British
quick?
Massacre in India was pretty bad and shit, but almost not as bad as Dragon Ball Evolution or whatever shit.
That was bad.
that
It was
movie
really
that
bad.
was, you know what I
and
mean?
they were like mispronouncing words and shit.
Well, that's what happens when you have somebody
and
who's
people's names.
When you
It's
have
like, did you even watch
exactly
the fucking cartoon before you made this
person-
movie?
Exactly.
They did.
The person,
They're like mispronouncing main characters' names and shit in the movie.
Yeah.
Is this a real life action version?
It's a
or
live
something?
action version of
I haven't
a
seen it.
Japanese manga.
It's
Oh,
terrible.
no. I like the cartoon. I've never seen a real action.
And they
Sounds like
very
bullshit.
clearly
But
didn't.
I mean, you could tell
Sounds like He-Man.
you could tell the person wasn't a fan of it at all.
No.
It just didn't make sense.
Yeah, it didn't make sense. But anyway, back to Jurassic World. I just want to point out that the movie didn't need to be made because the whole premise is saving these dinosaurs. Why can't they just fucking make more of them? Why go back at all? Why go back to the
Yeah,
island
that's
at all?
Yeah,
They can
that's
just brew up a bunch of them in a lab,
because
and then
They can't
and then one of the
'cause
main
it's capital investment.
and then
That- as a
one of the
producer,
main
like,
plot
what
points at
dollar
the
sign
end
says
when
that?
they're in the mansion
It's
is
because
letting the
Which one of those
dinosaurs go.
is a price tag.
It's because the first one did 800 million domestic. Is why.
Right?
That's why.
It's like, we'll forget about this
You know what I
massive
mean?
plot hole.
It made the 3rd most money of all time.
Right? So is the next one going to be like the Flintstones or
like
some shit
Ian,
with
like Ian
people
says,
and
life will
animals
find a
together?
way.
You know?
What?
Is the next one going to be like the Flintstones or some shit
Oh,
where they got
yeah.
the people and the dinosaurs like intermixed?
I got
I fucking
Raw,
love the
baby.
Flintstones.
Make it raw.
Sean, I got
Last
number
rapid.
3 for you, brother.
All right, what is it?
All right, we talked about Star Wars. We're going to talk about the other polar opposite to that. What do you
Wait.
think? Star Trek. Fix it. If it can you?
Which Star Trek? Is
That's
franchise.
That's
The whole
really,
franchise?
that's really,
The movie
really,
franchise.
really interesting.
I think the J.J.
I've
Abrams
start a lot about-
franchise is actually fantastic.
I
I
was
think it's
way too
fine.
blinded by lens flares throughout the whole
I
movie.
like the lens flares.
JJ does
I like
love his
the
lens flares.
aesthetic
I like the
choice.
lens flares.
Felt like I was watching a fucking EDM show.
I will say this: the first Star Trek is a fantastic movie. It's a 3.5-star movie.
Yeah.
The one since then,
That's your fantastic level right
Yeah,
there.
dude.
It's not quite perfect, but it almost is.
We're talking about the Chris
next one
Pine,
aren't quite
right?
that level. I like the idea of what Simon Pegg is talking about doing. I think the interesting thing about Star Trek is when they're in deep space exploration. I
Yeah,
think they
they
should
haven't
take a
gotten
little
to
bit
that
more
point yet.
time. I think they should they should get a little bit more artsy fartsy, and maybe letting Tarantino have a rated R stab at it isn't a bad idea. But Star Trek is such an interesting IP. Can I talk like that?
Yeah.
because I've only seen 3 or 4 episodes of the original, but they're really well done. And what a lot of people forget about the original episodes, they were only on 2 or 3 seasons. They weren't on that. They weren't on that long.
They became the cult classic afterward.
Yeah, it's Star Wars is really, or Star Trek is really a slowly paced show. It's almost more of like an intellectual space opera.
It reminds me a lot of Twilight Zone episodes in its pacing.
I think they need to have that more kind of the energy of Indiana Jones and exploration rather than shooting and battles. You know what I mean? There needs to be more of a sense of discovery and wonderment.
Yeah, this current franchise hasn't gotten to that point yet. I mean, they just started exploring space in this last movie, the third one. That's when they just now started exploring.
Well, they didn't have to go into the Khan reboot. They could have gone into space before that.
It was very half done.
It was half done. It was kind of cool. It was kind of really kind of meta where they had Leonard Nimoy in it. I guess they were like, Leonard's only with us for another like 10 years. We might as well get him.
They hopped on the Cumberbatch train while they could.
Yeah, that's true as well.
I generally like all the actors. I think the actors are carrying that franchise.
Yeah, they're doing
a good job.
Yeah,
I don't have like, any qualms with any of them.
You know what they're hitting? They're not hitting home runs over at Star Trek. They're hitting solid singles. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're getting on base.
The first one was a triple home run.
They're like, get on base. Just get on base.
They're not striking out like Jurassic World.
What other franchises? DC is a good one.
You want to do DC? I don't think you.
DC's
a mess. DC is like DC is almost like after there's been a horrific Hindenburg incident. It's not like you can't fix the Hindenburg. You can just go back and see what could we have done different. You know what I mean? Like maybe we shouldn't have filled it with pure oxygen. You know what I mean? Maybe that was a terrible decision. But I don't know. Like the problem with DC is they didn't take their time. They badly wanted to have a franchise. They just came out with Justice League rather than taking time to develop the individual franchises. Like if you look at what Marvel did so brilliantly,
fucking producers,
Iron Man worked, and because Iron Man worked and made Robert Downey Jr. a star again at a whole different level, it allowed all those other individual ones. You got to remember, those were their C roster. Nobody wanted Iron Man or Captain America. That was shit. People only wanted Spider-Man. Nobody wanted that shit. You know? So they built these individual franchises and they allowed each of those to get a following so that when they put the Avengers together, it felt special. Because you already had such an attachment to these characters.
I mean, you're totally right.
To see them together.
DC tried to do in like 2 years what Marvel did in 15.
Yes, exactly.
You just can't do that.
They should have had, DC started off great. I was hopeful. Superman, Man of Steel was exactly where it needed to be.
I liked it. That was great.
It was exactly what it needed. I mean, you can make the change with him killing the guy at the end, fine. But it was exactly in everything else where it needed to be. Wonder Woman, if it was before Justice League, I don't remember. Wonder Woman is fine.
Wonder Woman was after. Wonder Woman was
Batman. Fantastic. They should have established Affleck Batman, get all those out the door, and then if those are successful, get your Cyborg and your Flash rolling, and then do it. Or maybe one of those. Maybe you can do Flash, make Justice League huge. Cyborg is the first one after.
Cyborg was barely even a character.
Question for the comedian. Sure. As a comedian, I sometimes believe that I have a friend named GT. He just tells punchlines. He never builds a rapport with the crowd or builds anything between. He has terrible transitions, right? And what you just say about a lot of the films and a lot of things you say is about building something before you do it. Even with the Star Wars things, the transitioning things and all that, having the 3-part series in between, like you mentioned in the movies.
I love pace.
Do you feel like you kind of do that with comedy sometimes, or really kind of get the crowd into your whole set?
That's what makes, that's what makes a good, not even just the set, but individual bits in and of themselves. You know, when you find the arc to a bit, and where you find like it's almost like a combination of boxing punches where you have the jab. Like not every joke is meant to be a home run. You have your singles that get your people on base. You know what I mean? You have your jabs that set up the left hook. You know what I mean? So when getting all that in order is why comedians work the same material over and over again. You know, because getting that in the right order and discovering that is really what the process of stand-up and comedy is. And that's what's about going out to the clubs. And that's what your goal should be every time you're holding the mic and going up, because that's the goal of the people who are fucking doing it.
I can always tell a new comedian when I meet them because they always do something different every time I see them.
Oh, yeah. It's like explaining that to people. Like musicians have it easy because they can play a song, and fucking they'll want Bruce Springsteen will play that same fucking song until he's 82 years old, and everyone will fucking love it. But if Chris Rock can't go out there and tell the same joke, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yet the amount of work that goes into it is I'm gonna say at least equal. So
it is. It's a science.
So dude, we have to throw away so much like shit that it's like it's so temporal. Comedians' work is so temporary, you know. But that's why it's always gotta kind of be new and shit. Yeah, man.
The science. Once again, Professor Joshi with the science.
Professor Sean Bon Joshi. I told you I can explain anything you guys want. Anything you want to know. I could explain the whole universe to you. I got all the secrets, pals.
What's
the secrets.
What's your thoughts on the universe, the afterlife? What happens when we kick the bucket, bro?
What happens when we kick the bucket? It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. You can get to the questions of what's life. The problem is once you start to consider these questions, the ego rebels against certain solutions that may be the most obvious ones and ones that your mind doesn't want to accept. And I'll give you an example of that. So we were talking before about processing speed and what happens when processing speed eclipses the human brain.
Yeah.
Right?
We're in trouble.
Well, not necessarily.
No, they're going to make a lot of robots. A lot of jobs are going to disappear, and whoever can't fix robots or maintain or build
interface.
Is fucked.
There are more interesting implications, and those interesting implications are if you have enough processing speed, we'll also be able to make photorealistic graphics, so you could recreate an existent reality that is indecipherable from the one in which we exist.
This is something that scares the shit out of me, especially with virtual reality.
This is exactly what I said about your ego is rebelling against the idea because you would have to accept that you could be completely insignificant.
Here's my problem, and this could be a movie, so nobody steal it.
Right.
But I'm gonna share it.
Get the notepad out.
I'm afraid that eventually what you just said, we're going to get to the point where real graphics are a thing and it's going to be integrated in virtual reality. You could kidnap somebody. I think I talked about this before. You could kidnap somebody, slap them into a virtual reality thing,
bro,
and they would have no fucking idea that they were
somebody. You could kidnap everybody.
No. Every week you talk about kidnapping or crack. Thomas, what are you doing?
Kidnapping and crack with Tom.
That's what we do on our off hours. Listen. Let me tell you.
It's an Indiana thing.
Let me tell you. It's an Indiana. It's what we do for fun. That's how you
we shoot guns, we cook crack.
That's how you get through the winters, boys. You don't know what winters are like. They're hard and they're rough.
Come on,
you got to do what it takes.
You guys can't afford crack up there. You got to do meth.
That's why we cook it ourselves.
We got Eli Lilly. Are you kidding me? We sell crack to everybody else. But and the real implications of what we're talking about is not that. The real implications of that, you're asking what's the meaning of the universe. If we can picture recreating a universe, and actually doing that with a technology that we can conceive will exist, then that also immediately becomes the most likely explanation for our own reality. Because it's immediately technologically conceivable. And it's the only scientifically conceivable explanation for the universe that we therefore can present at this time.
True.
Well,
so that's the most likely. And if you think it's my skin, it's making my skin crawl on the back of my neck. But then there's even more interesting questions. And now this is something that a lot of people talk about. This is called simulation theory. But what nobody talks about in terms of simulation theory is the ultimate implication of simulation theory. And that is this. If this is a false reality, as it most likely is, okay? Created in another false reality, 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 and infinite false realities. That still means there is an original reality.
Right.
Well, Elon Musk,
what is the original reality is the real question.
I honestly think we're in it.
You get what I'm saying?
I don't think we're in it.
I hear you, Professor Joshi.
Professor Joshi, Sean Bon Joshi. Class is in session.
I don't think we're in base reality.
This should be a sitcom.
I think
time travel.
We're not in base reality.
No, I don't think so. And Elon Musk brought up a really good point about this.
Which is what Hinduism is, by the way.
He said that, a simulation, if you imagine a simulation, is a lot more exciting than base reality because
Have
you're
you had
taking
sex
like the
before?
best
It's amazing.
of. Yeah. I mean, you're taking the best of. Like, you wouldn't want to simulate.
Way better than masturbation, which is simulation.
That's what Allen said. That's sex with somebody I love. Don't knock it.
Anyway, I agree with you. I think so. And anyone who's ever done a hearty dose of mushrooms or ayahuasca would agree with you as well, man.
Yeah, I've done
Myself included?
I've done the DMTs.
Oh, you have?
Ooh.
Yeah,
I
likewise,
heard that's
dude.
like life-changing.
It is. I don't know. What are your thoughts on it?
I don't know. You sound like a kooky person because if people haven't
Dude,
done it.
You're among friends here.
If you haven't done it, you're missing out.
Whoever's listening who
I feel
wants
like
to turn it off
I'm
right
rambling
now.
too much on this.
We'll cut that.
You're the guest. You're the main guest. And you're
No, I'll
Professor
tell you.
Josie.
You want me? I'll tell you. You want to hear about it?
I'll tell you,
sure.
man. I asked her. You want me to share my story first before, so make you a little bit more comfortable? Mine's crazy
Sure.
too, man.
Did you throw up everywhere?
Oh, man.
On ayahuasca, I threw up. On mushrooms, I did not. On mushrooms, I astral projected. I didn't know what that was until like a month later, and I didn't tell anyone about it. But
Did you have sleep paralysis afterwards?
no, but
Did you see the little dwarf standing at the end of your bed?
No, but I had like a spiritual vision, and then afterwards, the things
With
in that
huge
vision
penises.
over the
You
next
went on a
like,
vision quest like Vinny Chase
the,
and Entourage?
the things that I saw in that trip started happening over the next like 6 to 8 months. So they were reaffirmed, which was really, really fucking crazy. And then I did ayahuasca
Yes,
like
the
2
better.
years later. And ayahuasca, the thing I tell people is like, if mushrooms are an outward journey to like solve a problem or figure something out, like I use them as a tool to do that, then mushrooms are like, ayahuasca is an inward journey to solve yourself and figure out things about yourself. Like I was very closed off, and like what I tell people about ayahuasca is like it opened my heart up and it taught me how to love again. Like
Wow.
it truthfully did. Like I just like did not want anything to do
Ayahuasca is like Kevin
with
Costner in The
anything.
Bodyguard.
Right. And I will always eat.
Or even Patrick Swayze and Ghost. You know?
I was trying to find one of them. I think it works.
It does. It does. It works.
I like that a lot.
Anyway,
That's a great song, by the way. I fucking love that song.
Yeah.
At least once every 3 weeks, I try to belt that out.
Yeah, it's hard to hit that
No,
high
this
note.
guy knows what he's talking about. I second everything he just said. Yeah. He's right. Everything.
well, on another note, I want to hear a little bit. We got some time left. I want to hear a little bit more about your stand-up career, man.
Okay, yeah, sure. What do you
How'd
wanna
you
hear?
get into doing
Did
stand-up?
you start in Indiana?
Folly, hubris, ego. You know, the classics. How did I get... No, I didn't start in Indiana. I was a dimwit. I started out here. I didn't know any better. Nice. I was in an MFA program for creative writing, determined to get into more student debt, and
Did it work?
beautifully, swimmingly, like Tiger Woods' short game this past 4 days.
He just won, by the way.
He did. To Tiger!
Tiger Woo.
He's back.
Tiger.
Tiger Woo.
I'll see you after party, buddy. Proud of you, champ. Proud of you, man. Big slap on the behind. Yeah. But so I was transferring to school in Chicago. So I had my last summer here. I was living down in Redondo Beach, close to the beach, living that beach life.
Shout out Redondo.
Only thing I was missing was abs and hair. And
Join the club, brother.
I know, right? And so I decided to start doing stand-up. And, because I know I'll go to Chicago, I'll go to stand-up. What else going to do? It's too fucking cold over there,
Yeah, man.
So I'll do stand-up and shit as I'm going to this school, And maybe I'll get abs. Maybe I'll get Propecia, grow some hair. And so I started doing stand-up around L.A., and I did an open mic at the Laugh Factory, and the owner of the club, Jamie Masada, saw me, and they called me back. Yeah, and I heard him say my name to call. I was like, oh shit, I think something's happening here, So, and then he called me in the back, and he's like, he's this cool Persian Jew guy. He's been here since the 70s. Seen it all. Has the coolest stories. And so he's like, buddy, I see you new, buddy. You come, buddy. I see you good. We figure out what to do, buddy. I excited for you, buddy. You come, we put you up. We develop you, buddy.
This is some kind of male prostitute shut off.
Yeah, this is
No, Jamie Masada.
Richard Gere from American Gigolo.
Jamie Masada is the coolest motherfucker ever. Yeah. So I had to blow him several times a week. No, Jamie's a cool dude. So I got so I had to make a decision whether to go to Chicago or stay here. So I stay here and went to my own version of grad school. So coming up through the Laugh Factory, man, love that place. Home club, best club in the world.
Shout out, Laugh.
Love ya,
Right
Laugh
down the street.
Factory. Yes.
Nice.
Well, what are some of your best? I want to hear a best story, amazing story from stand up, and a worst
amazing story from stand up.
I heard like your
and
best
a
memory
worst story.
and your worst memory.
Probably when there's like 2 people in the audience at
No.
1:30 in the morning. And
No, I that can be really beautiful actually sometimes. Well, I get to go up last on Friday and Saturday. Ken Jeong actually started out doing the same thing. He was found at the Laugh Factory and was doing the same thing.
Nice.
Those can be really beautiful. You learn a lot about yourself as a comedian and as a person and other, stuff like that when you're doing stuff like that, and you grow as an artist. That's where I got really good. Was those sets. So I really like those. I say the hardest ones are just, when you're doing material and it's just you're not connecting with it, and you're on stage. That's always a tremendously shitty feeling, because if you go into your office and you have a bad day at work, you come home, you do your thing, you watch the Netflix, you can file the reports the next day. It's not really like that big of a deal. But if you have a bad day at the office as a comedian, it's in front of people. Yeah. It's like so public. It's like such a weird thing to do in and of itself. So it's like a risk and reward thing. Yeah. So like as good as it feels at times, it can feel really fucked up at times too. Which is why I think you have all that shit happen with comedians too. Why they're generally I don't think to a rule they're fucked up people, or even more so, or that you have to fit that stereotype. I think that's really dumb. But I think you also can't deny, there's been a history of people with substance abuse problems and all that. So,
We make jokes so we don't school shoot the place up. Come on. We all know
Exactly,
what this is
man.
about.
Much rather somebody make a joke than go crazy.
We make the funny in the art so we don't kill. That's
Yeah,
All right,
bro.
Sean. One last thing, brother.
Sure. I prefer to be called Professor Bon Joshi, sir.
That's right.
Professor Bon Joshi.
Thank you.
Professor Bon Joshi, the
Thank
Underground
you.
Back
Thank you.
delegation.
For
president, baby.
the up.
I'm running for president 2020. Okay,
Yes.
Joshi.gov.
You have, you have us behind you?
Let me be your benevolent dictator in 2020. There are no choices you have to make anymore. Freedom is letting go.
Let us
Vote
be.
Joshi.
Let us be your press corps.
No more
And
free
then-
will. 2020. You guys aren't doing anything good with it. Let me do it for you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
One last question for the kid in Indiana who wants to come out here to LA and be a stand-up comic to the camera.
Right.
Offer some words of wisdom, brother, before we tag out.
Stay home. Don't come. The traffic is bad
There's
enough.
already too many of us here.
Your dreams won't be killed immediately. They'll just die slowly and wither in a sad dissipation
So you
until
should-
you're broken, lonely, and toothless, blowing other bums on Hollywood Boulevard just for the warmth it'll give you so that you can sleep at night, because it's so much goddamn colder than you thought it would be in California, is what I would tell you.
That's true.
That, and make sure you hit the mics. All right.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for one of our best and most illustrious guests.
Yeah.
The
Professor.
one, the only, the incredible Professor Bon Joshi.
Thank you.
In the house tonight. And a round of applause for our fucking guest.
Yeah, thanks for coming out, dog. Thanks for coming
I accept
Let's go now.
PayPal, Venmo, and the Cash App. Thank you very much for having me.
So
you guys will have fun.
let
You're not
everyone,
getting paid for this.
Go ahead, shoot to the camera, and let everyone know where they can find you, where they can follow you, where your next project's at. What do you want to tell the people?
Find me at the end of Hollywood Boulevard, taking out my dentures and blowing guys while watching my dreams slowly die. No,
$5 special.
I got Sean Joshi and friends at the Laugh Factory. Catch it regularly. I have the Fanatics podcast. It's a sports podcast. It's a comedy podcast. It's a life podcast. Find us on iTunes and on SoundCloud. Listen, subscribe. Sunday, Bloody Sunday. And what else? And I want to single-handedly bring back MySpace. So find my MySpace page.
Bam, I see
And
that,
Friendster.
Sean
and
Joshi.
let's Tamagotchi. All right.
If you're watching this on YouTube, you can find all the links to Sean's stuff in the description. And if you're listening
Fantastic.
to this on air, you can jump over to YouTube and watch the clip here.
I was late,
and then
guys.
Find all those things. No, you were not late. You were
They
just
got
on time as the
he's right on
universe
time,
and
dog.
For those
Great
listening,
job, dog.
let's
Great
let it
job.
be known
Yeah,
that Sean was late by a half hour. power.
Yeah,
Well,
bro.
you know, color people time.
It's
Why you gotta
football.
spread-
Aren't you guys American? It's fucking football is on. We're gonna beat the bloody Eagles, man.
This is the hardest thing
It's
about
actually
booking.
it's actually
for
Tuesday at 8 o'clock. It's actually 9 o'clock on a Tuesday.
Oh shit,
Yeah,
that's
well,
that's that PCP, man.
Yeah, we travel in time and shit.
That time's not real, anyways, right?
True.
We're good. Let's go around the circle, tag out. Carl, let's lead us
Oh,
off.
yeah. Mr. CD Enforcer, Poppy, Carlo on the Insta, Jesus and whatnot. I do the Ding Dong show every Monday at the Comedy Store in the
Ding
Belly Room and
Dong.
whatnot. Yeah. Talk about those
Ding
small rooms and late nights and struggling through the
Dong.
fight. Oh
Belly
my
Room is
God.
fun. Belly Room is fun.
Check out gtcomedyjam.com. We do that 2 times a month. Also, check out The Clapper, which is on
Ding Dong.
Netflix. I'm a big rabbit in the middle.
Clap.
Let's go.
Check out
Can I just be
Office-
your hype man? Clap, clap.
Yes, right. Hell, hype me, baby.
Clap,
Check out Office Uprising, where we a zombie
check.
up in that joint.
Yes.
And when Adam Sandler stopped playing around, we got something called The Deported coming, where I play a nice scene with Jerry Bedknob and a
Get
bunch
the
of
fuck
other
outta
great
here.
cats. And you gotta drop that.
I'm calling
Mickey
ice on your
Gooch,
ass.
Skid bags. We lit as fuck. Mr. Seed Enforcer. Google me, bitch.
Google him.
Check.
Tell them how you go, girl.
Casey.
Wow, that was incredible. Because you guys enjoyed my input so much today.
Where were you? You didn't say anything. You gotta jump in, otherwise I'll talk the whole time.
To be fair, I'm pretty sure I wasn't even alive for half the shit y'all were talking about today.
that's true.
I'm pretty sure I was like 2 years old for the rest of it.
See, Harry Potter, right?
If we talked about Harry Potter,
But-
I'd go on for fucking hours.
do
I
you,
watched
do you
that
know,
shit yesterday.
are you more Harry Potter or are you more Star Wars?
Absolutely.
Harry Potter. Did you have any emotional connection to Star Wars growing up?
No, actually, the first Star Wars.
She thinks we're all nerds.
Okay, but that's also my parents never introduced us to any
Right.
of that.
What are they,
maybe.
Nazis?
We actually. God, I hope not.
What do they not believe in democracy and goodwill?
Blonde hair, blue eyes. It's all enough.
It's possible.
Yeah.
No, the first time that I saw Star Wars was last summer, and I fell asleep for every single one.
Yeah,
of
and
them.
see, and they're
sorry.
making and they're trying to make the movie for your generation. Mistake.
I've
Just
seen-
like
I've
that
seen
Dragon
the-
Ball guy was making the movie for people who do poppers in Amsterdam. I don't know. It wasn't for. It wasn't for Dragon Ball fans. That's for damn sure. Yeah, they should make the Star Wars movies for Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
You know, but they're trying to make it for you.
I enjoyed.
God.
I've seen the new ones.
You enjoy them, but we loved them, and now they suck.
Trap
you know?
movies, dog.
I'm so
Trap
sorry.
films.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
my fault.
well, I don't blame you. I blame Bob Iger, whoever. Disney.
Whatever.
Yeah. Disney, please hire me for a
Kathleen
good job.
Kennedy.
By the way, I don't mean anything bad. I love Disney.
Shout out Disney booked Sean Josie.
I mean,
for-
Walt Disney. Walt Disney, he hated Jews
For
and still
your-
made it in
for your
Hollywood.
next Jar
A
Jar
miracle.
Binks.
A miracle, Walt
Yeah.
Disney. I mean, book me, Disney. I mean, book me. Please. Please. Please.
Could finish up.
Well, since you enjoyed that little bit of it.
Yes, welcome. We got that in.
You can follow
What
me
else?
on
You want to talk
Instagram.
about Fortnite? What else do you want to talk about?
Nah,
Fortnite.
The
What
only
else?
thing I know
What
about
reality
Fortnite
shows are you
is
watching?
the shit dancing that
What reality shows are you watching?
reality shows. The most recent one was Big Brother, but I don't.
Big
I don't
Brother.
know.
Oh, man.
I don't know much about
What
it.
do you? What defines your culture? What are you watching right now that defines you think your generation's culture?
I would hope that it would be Parks and Rec. I love
Parks
Parks and
and
Rec
Rec
more
is-
than anything.
Shout out
in the
Indiana.
world. I've just
Too
started.
sentimental. I
That's
like The
based-
Office better. The
Fun
Office
fact,
is raw.
Pawnee's
Office is
based
great.
off of
I
the
got
town
Parks
where
and Rec.
both Sean and I went to college.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, it's based off of Bloomington. You didn't know
Is
that?
it really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It was like the model of the
Oh, I had
Pawnee?
town that they
idea.
live in. Yeah.
I had no idea. I love how there was like a Native American slaughter in that town. That was hilarious.
Dude,
That was so funny. And like there was
it's
just
so
like
spot on.
painting. Yeah. Which is so like true actually. That's like Columbus Day is that mural actually.
Which
You
is
know what I mean?
what's even weirder is that I went to William Henry Harrison High School and our mascot was the Warriors because William Henry Harrison was notorious for killing Indians.
Oh, that's hilarious.
If that's not the most
That's fucking
Indiana
hilarious.
thing
Yeah.
you have ever heard. in your
One
life.
last quick thing. So you know
Yeah.
how there's actually a Hollywood high school right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their mascot is hilarious. It's the Shakes.
It's the yeah.
like the Middle Eastern Shakes. SHEIKH. That is so funny to me, man.
Speaking of shakes,
Such a odd-
gotta give a big shout out to our other team member, Gabby Shake.
Yeah,
Yes.
Happy birthday, Gabby!
Gabby.
Happy birthday, bitch.
We're missing you, Gabby.
She's
Did you
not
say
in-
happy birthday, bitch? Happy birthday, bitch.
Happy birthday, bitch.
Happy birthday, bitch. I hope you're drinking rosé and listening to Britney, bitch.
Yeah.
Not an actual shake.
Yeah, not like a milkshake.
Anyway, follow me on Instagram at TMcD 2_.
Oh yeah.
This mic smells.
Yeah, okay. Third fucking time over here, guys. Followed me on Instagram, Casey Persich, KASEYPERCICH.
We're trying to bring you into the show. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
It's a challenge.
Oh my God.
I'm Sean.
All right. And then rounding us out here, obviously, Sailor_Dev on Instagram. But if you want to learn more, go to skipbags.com. You'll see links to all of our other shows. We got podcasts, we got TV shows, we got YouTube shows, we got movies, we got films, we got radio, we got our hands in
We got snuff porn. We got animal porn.
Yes.
We got war porn. We got it all.
For all your pornography needs, go to skipbags.com.
You want to see 6-year-old Ramadi children being tortured? We got that. Sorry, that's too far.
That's a lie. That is a lie.
Can we reel this back in? Can we pull this back a little bit?
Am I too real, guys? Am I getting too
Let
real?
it be known that Skip Bags is unofficially affiliated with Sean Joji.
Send all your hate mail to my MySpace. Thank you very much.
But we got to give a big shout out to Dash, Love Dash Radio, Dash Talk X.
Dash Talk X.
Tune
Thanks,
in, listen to us every Tuesday, 8 p.m., and check out.
What is Dash?
What is Dash?
What?
Dash.
Dash. Who is Dash?
She's Kim Kardashian.
When is Dash?
We are
How
actually
is Dash?
founded by Kim Kardashian.
I love it. I love Dash. Thank you for having me, guys.
Yes.
You were great.
Thank you,
This was so much fun.
dude. This has been a fun episode. You're
bro.
the only
great.
guest that has yet in the year that we have been doing the show. You're the only guest that has ever brought us a gift.
That's right.
Oh, really?
Thank you again.
Yes.
That's actually
That's 100% true.
Keep complimenting me.
shout out.
and it was a 6-pack of beer.
Yes.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was
If I have to drink
Prop
20
beer.
of a beer,
Prop beer.
let it be Miller Lite. Miller Lite. I live at 1841 North Fuller Apartments.
You know,
Please send it over.
I'm a Coors man, but still.
And that was the most Indiana thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Dude, Miller Lite is
There's a lot
great.
of Miller Lite in Indiana.
Miller Lite's great.
Larry Bird rule.
I'm sick of your.
If you're in the
I'm sick of
infield
your-
at the raceway, you're
Yeah.
drinking a Miller
I'm
Lite.
sick of your fucking hoppy douchebag hipster fucking beer.
That's just fucking SoCal, man.
I don't
Fuck
like
it.
your
I don't like
IPA.
it
I
either.
don't want my beer to have
I
more
want
flavor than
malty.
my fucking food.
Speaking
bro.
of my
I like
hangover,
malt and log.
I had a
give me a
really
nice
terrible
crisp
IPA yesterday.
lager.
All right. So, Skipbags Radio, we're up. Thank you, gentlemen. Boom. And ladies.
Skipbags Radio.